Hello everyone, welcome back to the JAIIB November 2025 mini marathon series for your retail banking and wealth management paper. We have already covered our module A and module B questions. Today we'll be discussing the questions from your module C. We'll be covering your full module in this particular session. So, quickly share the link with your other fellow aspirants, and I want all of you to be active. One question at a time you will get on the screen. I will give you 10 seconds to answer the question, and then we will discuss the theory related to it. All right, the same pattern as we have been following till now. So let us start. Yes, okay. If we talk about your module C, I've already told you it is the most simple module from your whole syllabus. 6 units are there: marketing, delivery channels, delivery models, CRM, marketing information system, and the BCSBI part. And it holds weightage of about 10 to 15 mark questions. But very simple module, very scoring module, easily you can answer these questions. So the first question: what is the focus of marketing analysis stage in the marketing process? Defining the strategic business units and setting goals, analyzing the markets and marketing environment for product introduction, implementing the marketing strategies, regulating the goals through auditing and measuring. Quickly answer this question. So in this unit 17, we have discussed the meaning of bank marketing, creation, delivery of customer satisfying services, identifying the most profitable products, the markets, assessing the present and future needs, setting the business development goals, and making them avail the products continuously. So there are four stages in the retail marketing process. I've not yet received any answers. Just comment your answers A, B, C, or D. What is the correct answer? Right? So there are four stages. The first stage, when we start with the marketing, is marketing analysis. Second is the marketing planning. Third is marketing implementation. And fourth is marketing control. The question has asked you, what is the focus in the second stage, marketing analysis stage? So in this stage, the name itself tells us we analyze the markets and the marketing environment for product introduction. Before introducing a new product in the market, we will conduct the analysis, right? Chalking out the issues, setting, we would be before introducing the product, we would conduct what? We will conduct the SWOT analysis, right? This is the first stage. So we will conduct the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis. Yes, the correct answer is B. It is the stage in which the organization focuses on analyzing the markets and the marketing environment. For gaining insights into the market and companies, the SWOT analysis will be used. The institute can also ask you indirectly in which of the stages in the marketing process SWOT analysis is used. So you need to remember it is the marketing analysis stage. Next stage is the marketing planning stage. We will define the SBUs. We will decide the plan, the issues, a draft which is known as the offering, setting up the goals, that is the marketing planning. All right. What are the next question? What are the key components of the marketing planning stage? Key components of our next stage: the SWOT analysis for gaining market insights, performing the activities in the right manner, taking corrective action at operational or strategic levels, defining the strategic business units, goals, and objectives. Just now we discussed the second stage, the marketing planning stage. So what do we do here? After conducting the analysis of the market and the environment, then we chalk out our plan. We prepare a draft offering. What are we going to do? Right? So, in this particular stage, we define the strategic business units, goal of the organization, and the objectives for the next few years. What will be our course of action for the next few years? So, the correct answer is D. Then, the third stage is the marketing implementation. Who, where, when, and how. Who is going to introduce the product, where, in which market, when, at what time, and how the product should reach the customers through the physical channels or the remote channels, the electronic or digital channel. It focuses on performing activities in the right manner, right? So, performing the activities in the right manner, this is the marketing implementation stage, and taking corrective action at the operational or strategic level, it is the marketing control stage. So, in this stage, the organization performs the job of regulating its goals, auditing, measuring, evaluating, acting upon the defined parameters. We have studied about the reactive methodology and proactive methodology. Proactive means something which is continuous. On a continuous, ongoing basis, we see and evaluate and take action before anything bad happens. Reactive methodology, after the event actually occurs, then we will take the corrective action. All right. So remember the characteristics of all the stages, all the four stages. Next question. How is price defined in the marketing mix of retail banking? What is marketing mix? It refers to different ingredients that would offer the best services to the customers so that they continuously consume these services and they are satisfied. Service, delivery level, the product, its features, everything should be adequate. So there are seven P's in the marketing mix: the product, price, promotion, place, people, process, and physical evidence. You need to tell me, how is price defined in the marketing mix of retail banking? The fees or charges for the different banking services, the interest rate offered on the deposit products, the overall cost of the banking operations, the cost of advertising and promotion. The options are 1 and 2, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 2 and 4. So how is price defined and determined? If you remember in our module A also, we have discussed about the interest rate spread, right? The price or the interest which is offered on deposit by the bank, and the price or interest which is earned on the loans and advances and the securities by the bank. So that is the price, right? It is the fees or charges for the different banking services and the interest rate offered on the deposit products. So the price should be appropriate. If we have a very good product, but we do not price it according to the need and the level of the customer, it will be a failure. Thus, the price that we are quoting to the borrower or that we are offering to the deposit holder, that is the that is an important factor. Okay, these are the seven P's in a marketing mix: product, price, promotion, place, people, process, and physical evidence. Product is the service, it is the capacity to provide satisfaction, the deposit, asset, third party products. Price, we have already discussed. Promotion, the advertisement, sales promotion, publicity, measures taken so that the customer becomes aware about the product. Place refers to where the bank is offering the product, at the branch, or through the remote channels. People can be the customers. It will also mean the employee of the bank. Process, the concept basically starting from the product development till the delivery stage. And physical evidence, because the banking products are intangible, right? They are services. So along with it, some physical evidence, like along with the deposit product, debit card or ATM card, a personalized checkbook can be provided. The key fact statement along with the loan can be provided. All right, so that is physical evidence. Correct answer is A. Let's move on to the next question. How do the seven P's of the marketing interact to enhance the effectiveness of retail banking strategies? Go through the statements very carefully. I want you to answer this question. I will wait for your answers. All right? Each P functions entirely holistic effectiveness of marketing strategies. Which of these statements are correct? 1, 2, and 3, 1, 3, and 4, 2 and 3, or 2 and 4? Answer the question. So, when we are talking about the seven P's, they actually follow an integrated approach. They are not completely independent, they are rather interdependent. The effectiveness can be measured by the response of the customer, and the effectiveness is also dependent upon the other P's. All right. For example, all the P's are interlinked. Product is an important element. The effectiveness of the product and the strategy depends on the price. So even though the price is an important element, product and price will not matter if promotion is not done in the right way, and if the place aspect is not given due consideration. So if we have created a technology oriented product, but we are offering it in a rural area, a complete failure, right? So the correct answer should be D. Yes, the correct answer is D. 2 and 4 only. They are interdependent, integrated, dependent on the effectiveness of other factors. Correct. All right. Next question. As per RBI guidelines, which of the following statements regarding the free ATM transactions is or are correct? Banks must offer at least 5 free transactions per month at their own ATMs, regardless of the location. At ATMs of other banks in metro cities, only 2 free transactions are mandated per month. Banks may also offer more than the minimum number of free transactions. In the non-metro centers, customers are entitled to only 3 free transactions. So definitely RBI has maintained the minimum number of transactions. We are talking about the delivery channels. Physical or direct channels are there, remote channels are there. Physical channels will be the branch, extension counters, remote channel, ATMs, internet banking and mobile banking. ATM business is regulated by RBI through the NFS cash tree. On-site ATMs which are attached to the bank, off-site ATM located in the busy areas, and it is not necessarily attached to the bank. All right. So when we are talking about the transactions at a bank's own ATM, I have a deposit account in bank ABC. I am having the debit card from bank ABC. I'm taking it to the ATM of bank ABC. So the banks must offer their saving bank account holders a minimum of 5 free transactions in a month. Free transactions, both financial and non-financial. At other banks, let's say I'm taking the debit card of bank ABC, using it at the ATM of bank XYZ. Now here the differentiation is there in metro location or the non-metro location. So in the metro location, Mumbai, New Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, minimum 3 free transactions should be provided, right? And in the non-metro location, minimum 5 free transactions should be provided. All right. So the correct answer will be B, 1 and 3. 5 free transaction per month at the own ATM regardless of the location. And the banks can offer more than the minimum number. They can offer more. Maximum is not mandated, only the minimum free transaction is mandated. In the non-metro location, no, not 3, but 5. And other bank metro city, 2, no, 3. All right. Okay. Which of the following conditions must be met for a customer to receive compensation for a failed ATM transaction? Just a second. Okay, the explanation is already here on the screen. First, answer the question and then we will go through it. The complaint must be lodged within 30 days of the transaction. Failed ATM transaction would mean what? Let's say the amount has been debited from my account, but cash is not dispensed. This is a failed ATM transaction. So, how does the bank compensate me for that? If the complaint is given, then the complaint must be lodged within 30 days of the transaction. Banks must recredit the amount within T plus 5 days from the complaint date. Compensation of rupees 100 per day is payable for the delay beyond T plus 5 days, and the customers must submit a formal claim to receive the compensation. So, here the correct answer, what will be the correct answer? Try to answer this question. What will be the correct answer? The correct answer is A, 1, 2, and 3. All right. Doesn't matter whether the customer makes a separate claim for the compensation or not, compensation will be paid by the bank if there's a delay beyond 3 plus 5 days. All right. What is the compensation? Rupees 100 per day for the delays in recrediting. So if within 30 days of the transaction, the complaint is lodged of the failed transaction, the bank fails to resolve it, they fail to recredit the amount within T plus 5 days, then without the customer making a formal claim, they have to pay rupees 100 per day of the delay. All right. So the correct answer is A. 1, 2, and 3. Fourth statement is incorrect. It is not important. All right. Just like the video, everyone who is present here, and then answer this question. Which of the following statements correctly describe the IMPS transaction using the MMID and mobile number? Now, electronic transactions through the mobile phone, IMPS service is very important, right? Immediate payment services, and it can be transacted using the mobile money ID, MMID, using the IFSC and the account number, and even the Aadhaar number, right? There are 3 ways for which we can avail the IMPS: MMID, the IFSC, and the Aadhaar number. So here the question is asking you about the MMID. Both sender and receiver must be registered for mobile banking, and they should possess the MMIDs. The MMID is a 7-digit code uniquely linked to a mobile number. The mobile number can be linked to only one MMID. IMPS via MMID supports person to account, and person to merchant remittances. Very important. Very important. So what is IMPS? Interbank Mobile Fund Transfer, right? We had NEFT, we had RTGS, but they had their own limitations. Now IMPS offers the 24/7 interbank electronic fund transfer, right? Through the mobile, internet, as well as ATM. So using the MMID, what do we need? Yes, the sender and receiver should have registered for mobile banking, and they should get the unique ID, which is called the MMID, and it is a 7-digit code for both separately. Each MMID will be linked to a unique mobile number, and different MMIDs can be linked to the same number. All right. So a mobile number, they can have more than one MMIDs as well. So if I am having more than one account, or if I'm having accounts in more than one bank, I have registered for the mobile banking for each of the bank, and the mobile number is same. I can link more than one MMIDs to the same mobile number. All right, so only statement 3 is incorrect. 1, 2, and 4 are correct. All right, 1, 2, and 4 statements are correct. Then if I want to avail the IMPS through IFSC code, let's say the remitter, the sender, they have registered on mobile banking, but the beneficiary mobile number is not registered with any bank account. I can simply provide on the IMPS the IFSC 11-digit alphanumeric code and the beneficiary account number. Third option, using the Aadhaar number, right? This is the Aadhaar based remittance service, the ABRS. In the previous exam, this question was asked. So the IMPS transaction using the beneficiary's Aadhaar number. I should have the MMID. Let's say the beneficiary does not have. Using their Aadhaar number, I can send them money. All right, EBT, DBT by the government, all of this can also be availed, right? So these are the services that are offered under the IMPS. Next, which of the following statements correctly describe the *99# service? All right. Now, UPI is an important feature. The Unified Payments Interface for operating, it was launched by NPCI, right? And it offers 24/7, 365 days UPI facility to identify the bank customer. The UPI participants, simply the customer profile will be created, bank account will be registered, and the UPI pin will be generated. They also set up transaction limit, right? This is another method to send funds. Yet we have another method, which is the BHIM, using the virtual payment address. What if I do not have internet connectivity? If I do not have internet connectivity, then two options are available with me. Either the *99# service or the UPI 123 pay. UPI 123 pay. So which of the following statements are correct? It operates on the USSD platform and it is compatible with all the GSM handsets. It requires internet connectivity to function effectively. It is available 24/7 including on holidays, and it supports menu based application for user navigation. So this is an innovative payment service which works on the USSD, the unstructured supplementary service data. And it is for the basic feature mobile phone users. There's no need to have mobile internet data facility. Simply the unbanked rural segment, every common person, they will simply dial this common number *99#, common across all the telecom service providers on their mobile phone, And then they will be displayed a menu. On the menu, various services will be there: sending money through mobile number, through UPI ID, checking the account balance, or checking the last five transaction, even seeing the status of my Aadhaar linking, the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jan Dhan Yojana account. All of these things can be done using this application or using this feature. All right, so the correct statement is C, 1, 3, and 4. It does not require internet connectivity. All the other statements are true. Okay. Which of the following statements correctly describe UPI payments through the predefined IVR numbers? Now we can make the UPI payment through a missed call. Even the feature phone supports UPI payment. Voice based payments are also there. And we have the IVR, the interactive voice response. So how does it work? You need to answer that. Users must initiate a secured call from their registered feature phone to a predefined IVR number. Internet connectivity is mandatory for completing the IVR based UPI transaction. The users can select their preferred language, and only the NSDL Payments Bank supports the IVR based UPI payment. So, which of the following statements are correct about the UPI payment through IVR? The interactive voice response. So, this, like I already told you, comes under the UPI 123 Pay, developed by NPCI, facilitating UPI transaction for the feature phone users without internet connection. Right? When was it launched? In 2022. So simply, a host of transactions can be done by giving a missed call, right? So the customers are required to initiate a secured call from the registered feature phone. A predefined IVR number will be there. They will complete the UPI onboarding formalities. Multiple language options are there. And apart from NSDL Payment Bank, IDFC First Bank, City Union Bank have also gone live on the IVR payment. So the correct answer is B, 1 and 3 only. Internet connection not required, and NSDL Payment Bank is not the only bank offering this service. All right. Other than the IVR, we can also use the UPI 123 payment through the missed call. A number will be located on the merchant location. Simply a missed call will be given. Then they will receive a call from the other side, giving the IVR PIN code. We can complete the transaction. Third option, UPI app is developed on the feature phone, which is developed in collaboration of the Airtel Payment Bank and Gupshup, right? And proximity sound based technology can also be used. All right. Next question. This is a case study based on the customer's liability on unauthorized transaction. Okay, unauthorized transactions are in vogue. We are seeing how many fraudulent, unauthorized transactions through the mobile and internet are happening. 20, so to correct that, one of the ways that the banks must ask their customers to mandatorily register for SMS alerts, email alerts for the electronic banking transaction. So when there's a unauthorized transaction, the customer's liability will depend upon the type of transaction, whether it was the fault of the customer, or it was the fault of the bank, or a third party, neither the bank nor the customer's fault. So now read this case study. Mr. Sharma receives an SMS alert from the bank about a debit of rupees 25,000 from his savings account. He had not initiated this transaction. Upon investigation, it is found that the breach occurred due to a vulnerability in the payment switch of a third party service provider. Mr. Sharma reports the incident to the bank within 2 working days of receiving the SMS. What will be the liability? Mr. Sharma is entitled to zero liability because the breach was due to a third party and he reported within the specified time. Mr. Sharma will bear the entire loss since the transaction was not initiated by him. Mr. Sharma's liability is limited to 10,000 rupees because the breach was external but reported within 7 days. Or D, Mr. Sharma's liability depends upon whether he shared his credentials with the third party or not. So, zero liability will be borne on the customer where the unauthorized transaction is because of the bank, a contributory fraud, negligence, deficiency. Doesn't matter if the customer gives this report to the bank or not. If it is the fault of the bank, customer will bear zero liability. Third party breach, where the deficiency lies neither with the bank nor with the customer. Elsewhere in the system, like in this case study, the payment switch provider and the customer notifies the bank within 3 working days of receiving the communication about the unauthorized transaction. So, in this scenario, it is a third party breach and the customer reported the bank within 2 working days. So, there will be zero liability. All right, Mr. Sharma will have to bear zero liability. It will be borne by the bank and it can be recovered from the third party. All right, clear? Okay. When there will be limited liability of the customer, when the loss is due to negligence by the customer, which is the most common type. The customer shares their payment credential, their OTP, so the customer will have to bear the entire loss until they report it to the bank. Any loss that occurs after the reporting of the unauthorized transaction will be borne by the bank. Limited liability of the customer in this scenario when there's a delay. When the customer, let's say the third party breach was there and the customer failed to report within 3 days. They reported within 4 to 7 days, for example. Then they will have to bear limited liability, right? And if the delay is beyond 7 working days, then as per the board approved policy, the liability will be imposed. Okay? So this is how the customer's liability on unauthorized transaction is decided. All right. Okay. Next question. What was the role of the BCSBI in the banking sector? Now we are talking about the service standards for retail banking, right? And BCSBI is the Board Banking Codes and Standard Board of India. It was set up in 2006. What was the purpose? What was the objective? To enforce mandatory regulations on the bank, to set minimum standards of banking practices for the banks dealing with individual customers, to replace the regulatory instructions of RBI, to directly address and resolve individual customer complaints. So, what happened? A committee was set up by RBI under the chairmanship of Shri S.S. Tarpore, right? Basically, to the main objective was to address the issues relating to the availability of adequate banking services to the common people. The committee felt that we need to continuously upgrade the service and set up a benchmark that would reflect the best practices, a code and standards. Thus, the committee recommended setting up of the BCSBI and then it was set up. So the correct answer, the objective of setting up of the BCSBI is to set the minimum standards. It is a voluntary code of conduct, not compulsory for the banks to become a member. Also, it will not replace or supersede RBI instruction. Banks will still have to follow the guidelines. All right. So there are two codes under the BCSBI: code of commitment to the customers and code of commitment to the MSMEs. When talking about the customers, five rights are given to the customers: right to fair treatment, transparency, fair and honest dealing, the right to suitability, suitable product, right to privacy, right to grievance redressal and compensation. All right. So one of the right is right to transparency, fair and honest dealing. Under that, which information should be displayed by the member bank in their branches and on their website? The services provided by the bank, minimum balance requirement, policies on deposits, check collection, grievance redressal, exclusive offers for the high net worth individuals. So mandatorily the complete information, adequate, timely information in the appropriate language should be provided to the customer, right? So that the customer understands the risks, terms, and conditions. Information can be provided through SMS, emails, electronic, print media, even by displaying on the website or notice board. So, on the website, policies on deposit, check collection, grievance redressal, compensation, collection of dues, customer rights, customer policy, all of these things should be there, but exclusive offers for the high net worth individuals, not mandatory. All right. Other than that, to increase the awareness of the customers, customers should be provided a copy of the code so that they know their rights. The copy of the code should also be available in the branch and on the website. All right. Okay. What information do member banks display in their branches regarding grievance redressal? This is another right to grievance redressal and compensation. Basically, the banks should quickly deal when things go wrong. Let's say there's a failed ATM transaction, or the account, there have been continuous breaches in the customer's account without the customer's fault, and the customer makes a complaint. So the bank should correct their mistakes promptly and compensate them for any financial loss. They should handle the complaints promptly and tell the customers how to take their complaint forward if they're not satisfied. How can they take it to the principal nodal officer or the ombudsman? So, at their branches, they will display the name and contact details of all bank employees, not important, but the name of the official to approach for grievance, name and address of the principal nodal officer, and the banking ombudsman should be there. So, the correct answer is B, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Option B. Next, what are the rating categories used by BCSBI? So, the BCSBI has released the code compliance rating. Okay, they conducted a survey, they visited a sample of branches, collected information from the customers' feedback. Then, with the help of CRISIL, they prepared a benchmark, right? Five parameters were decided. A total score of 100 was decided, and the score is available on the website of BCSBI, and it will diminish or improve the bank's reputation in the market. So, what did the BCSBI do? It collected information during their branch visit and customer response, and then they assigned numerical score. What are the five parameters? First parameter is information dissemination. Second parameter is transparency, complete correct information. Third is customer centricity, whether the bank is customer centric or not. Fourth is grievance redressal mechanism. And fifth is the customer feedback. All right. So weightage is given to each of these parameters, and on the basis of the score obtained out of 100, the rating will be given. So if the score is 85 and above, high is there. If the score is between 70 to 85, above average, correct. If the score is 60 to less than 70, average, and below 60, it is below average. This is also true. Exceptional or inadequate is not a rating criteria, rating category. So high, above average, average, and below average. This is the correct answer, 1 and 2. All right, technical assistance of rating agency CRISIL is taken to prepare the scores. All right, so I hope this is clear. Remember the total score, remember the five parameters and these categories. All right, let's move on to the next question. What is the procedure if a customer does not receive a satisfactory response within 30 days? Now, the BCSBI has been replaced by the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, right? Earlier, we had the three ombudsman schemes, they have been merged now. The three ombudsman scheme, banking ombudsman scheme was there, ombudsman scheme for NBFCs, and the digital transaction. They have been merged into the integrated scheme. When the customer faces a grievance, first they will make the complaint to the bank. Within 30 days, if they do not get a response, they can approach the banking ombudsman either online or by hand delivering a physical complaint or by email to the CRPC, Chandigarh. All right, so what is the procedure? If the customer does not receive a complaint within 30 days, the complaint is considered closed. No, the complaint will not be considered closed. They have the right to escalate it. They may approach the ombudsman scheme. Yes. They are directed to the court. No. Court has no jurisdiction. And the bank staff will explain the procedure to approach the ombudsman. All right, so the correct answer will be D. Whom to approach, how the complaint should be made, what to do if not satisfied, all of these things. Okay, what is the impact of adopting the Code of Banks commitment to customers on other voluntary codes? So IBA has also released three voluntary codes: the Bankers Fair Practice Code, the Fair Practice Code for credit card operations, and the Model Code for collection of dues and repossession of security. The BCSBI codes are voluntary. If any bank becomes a member of BCSBI, they are not required to follow the IBA code. But if a bank does not become a member, then they continue to follow the IBA codes. All right. So it makes other voluntary codes inapplicable to the BCSBI members. True. It requires all the banks to follow the Fair Practice Code regardless of BCSBI. No. Once you become a member of BCSBI, other codes not required to be followed. It continues the application of the model code. Again, not true. Non BCSBI members, they continue to follow the IBA codes. Yes. Those banks who do not become a member, they will continue to follow the codes which have been set out by our IBA. Okay, so this is the impact. Next, I told you that the BCSBI has been now replaced with the CEPD. So what are the major functions? Administering the banking ombudsman scheme, acting as a nodal department for erstwhile BCSBI, handling all investment related complaint, managing the individual bank operations. No, only 1 and 2. The CEPD and the Banking Ombudsman Scheme of RBI, they deal with only service related deficiency. They clearly define those complaints which are non-maintainable. So the complaints related, a personal complaint related to the bank employee, or the bank employee has a complaint related to their manager, or any let's say computer provider, technology provider, these complaints will not be heard by the ombudsman and the CEPD. All right, so the correct answer is C. What are the implications for the regulated entities in which in case where the award is issued against them? Now, If the customer's complaint is not resolved within 30 days, they can take it to the banking ombudsman. Either they can make the complaint online through the website, or email or handwritten complaint letter can be sent to the CRPC address, Chandigarh, right? What will the ombudsman do? They will issue summons. They will direct the bank to produce documents so that their side can be heard. The principal nodal officer will represent the regulated entity, the bank, all right? And then on the basis of the complaint of the customer and the documents given by the regulated entity, the ombudsman will give their award. If the customer is not satisfied, they have the right to take their complaint to the appellate authority. The bank also has the right to make an appeal. If the award issued by the ombudsman is against the regulated entity, they can take it to the appellate authority, but only if they had provided these documents. For not furnishing satisfactory information, the regulated entity does not have the right to appeal. Right? So, this decision, only by hearing the side of the complainant, the customer, the award is passed, is known as ex parte decision. When the bank fails to provide the satisfactory information, or they have provided incomplete, incorrect information, then they will not be given the right to appeal. They will have to accept the order that is passed by the ombudsman. Who is the appellate authority? The executive director in charge of the CEPD will be the appellate authority. Right? So, what are the features of the integrated ombudsman scheme? The banking ombudsman scheme of 2006, the Ombudsman Scheme for NBFCs 2018, and the Digital Transaction Ombudsman 2019 have been merged into one 2021 integrated RBI Ombudsman Scheme. It is no longer necessary for a complainant to identify under which scheme they need to file the complaint. The deficiency in service is clearly defined. It will not, their complaint will not be rejected on the ground that they're not covered. The ombudsman office jurisdiction no longer exists. There's the CRPC at Chandigarh for receiving and initiating the physical and email complaints, and the appellate authority is the director, executive director in charge of CEPD. All right. What does the internal marketing information subsystem typically include? So this is the marketing information system unit 22. Under the MKIS, what is marketing information system? Data from the various sources are collected, collated, processed, analyzed, stored, and disseminated to take the necessary decision. There are four components or subsystems of the MKIS. The internal record system, let me write it down. The internal record system, the market intelligence system, the marketing research system, and the fourth is marketing management and science system. The internal record system maintains or collects information from the internal report, sales turnover, cost, cash flows, accounts, receivables, etc. Marketing intelligence system covers external sources, annual reports of trade associations, the reports published by government, central statistical organization. Marketing research system, we will conduct our own research on the product development, packaging, channels of distribution. And the marketing management and science system, it combines the above three components. All right. So the internal marketing information, what does it typically include? It includes the data on external files? No. It is the marketing intelligence system, right? The marketing intelligence system. Information on sales, consumer behavior, competitors, yes. Real time data on financial market fluctuations, again, it will be marketing intelligence team, not internal marketing. Data on sales turnover, cash flow, account receivable. So the correct answer will be B, 2 and 4. 2 and 4. All right. Last question. You are given a case study, a mid-sized FMGC, fast-moving consumer goods company is planning to launch a new organic snack product. The marketing team wants to understand the long-term consumption trends, competitive positioning, regulatory development in the health food segment. They also want to conduct targeted surveys to assess the consumer preferences. Which of the following will not be a component of MKIS that the team should utilize? So, what are their needs? Their needs is to look at the market, the competition trend, regulatory development, also the consumer preference. So, will they gather published data on the market trend and the competitor strategies? Yes, they will. So, the marketing intelligence system will be used. They will conduct field surveys on the interviews for packaging preference, yes. For the targeted surveys, consumer preferences, so the marketing research system will also be used. For real-time transactional data, their own CRM and POS system, the marketing intelligence, no. When we are talking about the real-time transaction data, we are referring to the management information system, not MKIS. So this is not a component. And D, to get insight from trade journals, chambers of commerce, research agencies, they should use the marketing intelligence system. This is also correct. The question asked you which of the following is not a component. So statement D, C is our correct answer. Getting real-time transactional data from the own CRM is not a component of MKIS. It is a component of management information system. All right, and that is all. With this, we have completed all the important topics, all the important questions from your module C. Now, if you want to practice more such questions, those aspirants who have not yet joined us in the Super Elite plan, now is the time. Your exams are very close now. So join the Super Elite plan, the all-in-one plan. You'll get access to all the basic, advanced, crash and summary courses. Right now, the crash batch is going on. After that, we'll be starting with the cracker batch, in which we'll be discussing all possible MCQs. Then you will get everything: full length mock test, memory based PYPs, concise note, case study, numerical test, everything. Right? You will also have the feature to download and watch the videos offline. And you can tag the faculty. You'll get the community access. And if you enroll for the course right now, you can avail the Navratri special offer, flat 58% off. All you need to do is use the code CELEB and you can avail this offer, 58% off on your Super Elite plan. This offer is ending on 23rd of September. All right. So that is all for today. I hope this session was useful. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can drop them down in the comment box. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the JIB CIB English Medium channel because we'll be bringing these mini marathons for you on a regular basis. Now we are left with our module D and module E that we'll be covering in the next two sessions. All right, so that is all for today. Thank you so much for attending. You can download the PDF for your revision from the Oliveboard website as well as the app. So thank you so much. Good night. Take care and all the